Hey everyone, welcome to the stream. This is Accounting Nightmare. Welcome Tag, how are you? I'm still getting over the flu or the cold or whatever it was I had, so my voice is a little weird. But I want to get back to streaming FF14, so we will see how we go today. Hopefully my voice isn't too messed up. If it isn't going too well, then I'll probably just end the stream, or I'll swap over to something else, like Dead by Daylight. We'll see how we go, though. Okay. So, we did, like me and my friends did some Binding Coils runs to get all that story done. And I pre-recorded it, so that we can show it on stream. And there's quite a lot of it, so we won't be able to get through it all today. But we will be able to start it. It'll probably take 2 streams. It's about the length of Crystal Tower, I'd say. Maybe, about Crystal Tower. But I did forget to show the first cutscene because I accidentally had skip cutscenes turned on. So we'll watch that in the little thing. Hey, Walking on the Sun, welcome! Yeah, so, Binding Coils, this was the original hardcore raid from Realm Reborn, level 50 questline. It's got huge story stuff in there, so it's kind of important. But it's hard to go back to because it's a lot of it is difficult to solo, even if you're level 80 and have good gear. So we did a nice big group visit in there, and it was a blast actually. We had a lot of fun. Yeah, so it follows on from. So the credits of Realm Reborn, if you remember, the post-credit scene, we heard a big roar from an unidentified primal, and it was hinted that that was Bahamut, and then the story just ignored it and kept going on about other stuff, and that's because this questline deals with that. So we're investigating that. We're working with Alize, Alphinaud's twin sister, so we haven't really interacted with her much. We kind of met her, and then she parted ways with Alphinaud to do her own thing. And so now we're finally going to interact with her. Yeah, we did the unlock quest. And that's kind of all we did on stream. We met up with her here in Eastern NOSCEA, here in Wineport. Yeah, and we went into this Imperial base here because it turned out this Imperial base is here because a piece of Dalamud fell here. And there's like a big cave system underneath it. So they're researching that. And yeah, we fight our way through there. And get to the entrance of the cave system. And that's where the raid kicks off. We've been playing Phantasy Star Online New Genesis lately. Ooh, nice. I hope that turns out good. Okay, and let's look at the text for it. Yes, this is the start. The Binding Coil of Bahamut, Turn 1. Situated upon Vilbrand, Castrum Occydens is more akin to a research facility than a fortress. Even before its first pillar was driven into the ground, Legatus Gaius van Belsar had ordered his people to probe the fragment of Dalamud, which fell at that precise location. The impact resulted in the creation of vast caverns, pervaded by corrupted crystals. Though unknown dangers lie in wait within, you must brave them all if you are to learn the truth of the calamity. That's a little intro. Kinda feels like Monster Hunter meets Breath of the Wild. Ooh, that sounds cool. And, oh yeah, I was going to show the intro cutscene, and then we're actually going to swap over to watching my videos. Most of this stream's going to be watching videos that I've already done, that I've already recorded. Yes, the very intro part here. Oh, there's a lot of cutscenes. Is it just cutscene 1 we want, I think? So how does my voice sound? Imperial Exploratory Site, -237 YALMS. Yeah, that's just the intro cutscene. I think this one we have recorded. Yeah, we can watch that one. Okay. In Garlean names, the middle denotes the individual's rank in society. Oh, that's cool. Did not know that. Alright. No, I'm going to log out the game now and we're going to go watch videos. And I'm also going to have a long AFK because my grocery order isn't actually here yet. So when that arrives, I'll have to deal with a bunch of groceries. Until then, let's start watching videos. There we go, window capture. So we went in with, we've got 5 people here? Yeah. We get more later. Yeah, so the first raid is called the Binding Coil of Bahamut. It's interesting because it's split into a bunch of like mini raids. Like little bite-sized raids. There's 5 turns. You can just think of those as like segments. You don't have to do them all, but we did them all for to get all the story. Yeah, this is where I realised I had skip cutscenes turned on, so turn that off. Yes, this is just coming in from where the Garleans were researching the area. The scars left by the calamity. I can scarce breathe for the surfeit of aether. Tell me, have you ever seen corrupted crystals such as these? Such crystals manifested across the realm when the course of the great river of aether was irrevocably altered 5 years ago. Behold, one of the objects that caused the alteration. A fragment of the lesser moon, Delamid. Ancient Alag created Delamid, or Meteor to use the Garlean name, to serve as a celestial prison for Bahamut. Its fall inflicted grievous wounds upon the land, wounds that have yet to heal, as is evident from the corrupted crystals. Orb! Danger orb. Amazing! Delamid's internal defences still function in spite of everything. A testament to the ingenuity of the Allegans. The Garleans seek to appropriate their advanced technology. I'm certain of it. We are about to come face to face with secrets that have long lain buried within the sands of time. Great dangers may lie beyond, but we have come too far to turn back. The truth of the calamity is within reach. Hey Madrick, how are ya? This raid still has one of your favourite stories out of all the raids. Ah, that's cool. Yeah, I really like the story for this. Zos is the Emperor, Varn is High Commander, and Sen is for an upper class citizens. Ah, okay. You can tell I'm sick, but my voice still sounds alright. Ah, that's good. You have a headache again? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Tag. So who did this run with me? So we've got a bunch of my WoW crew. Stumpy, we've got Lara, also known as Wormy, and Desdenova, also known as Muck. And then we've also got Rave, who's counting kittens. So they helped out a lot too. So thanks a lot to everyone in this group. We'll get some more later on as well. We fight the orb with the ADS. And it's dead. So we did it unsynced, just so we can smash through and see the story. So we have a couple level 80s here. God's preserve. Dark wings that would engulf the very heavens. These could only belong to Bahamut, the primal who laid Eorzea to waste 5 years ago. At Cartano, my grandfather sought to imprison Bahamut anew by invoking the power of the 12. Alas, the Dreadworm proved too powerful, and he soon broke free of his confines. Yet, instead of resuming the destruction he had begun, Bahamut vanished. Whither to, no one knew, until this day. But I do not understand. If Bahamut is truly a primal, how is it that he retains his physical form? Did Grandfather defeat him? Or is there some other explanation? We must press on if we are to learn the truth. You've done Heaven's Swords equivalent to this, but not this? Ah, okay. Oh. And I like the way it transitions to the battle music. That's really cool the way it does that. And they're fighting just some random monsters. Dark matter pelicans, apparently. Yeah, seeing that huge wing in the distance looks very, very scary, very ominous. And so dark matter, we know that there's been some lore on dark matter where I think it's from outer space? Or am I thinking of something else? We use it for like repairing things. I might be thinking of something else actually. It's something that the Elegans had mastered that we don't really know how to use yet. Not that well anyway. Wonder if level 60 blue can solo this? Not sure. Oh no, it's a snake! It's a snake! Named Caduceus? Caduceus? That's the boss of this turn. Oh, that's right, it died, but then it created a new version of itself. Yarr. Yeah, it's a big snake. I know, it's very dramatic. It starts off pretty chill before things get pretty wild later on. Some elegant leather. Was there any cutscene here? I don't think so. There weren't a lot of cutscenes during this first raid. Okay. That was turn 1, so you can see each turn is rather short. Turn 2. At the depth of 912 YALMS, you find your path blocked by Dalamud's internal defences. Born of advanced Allagan science, these spherical constructs are still fully functional, even after errors in existence, and will seek to annihilate all intruders or be destroyed in the attempt. Fight some orbs. And skip ahead. There we go. Imperial Exploratory Site, minus 912 YALMS. Oh yes, this was like an orb maze thing. Got a message. My groceries on the way. I think they are. Nice. Yeah, we're not too sure what was up with this one. There was a bunch of different paths you could take. We're not sure if you had to destroy all the orbs or if you were like just trying to find your way through the maze or what. The Heavensward version is basically a boss rush. Fight like 2 or 3 packs of trash mobs, boss, cutscenes, repeat. Ah, yep. Yeah, that sounds similar. It's kind of cool being able to just jump to the turn that you want to do. Ooh, this one's a sanitary node. There was a monitoring node. A defense node. This one's an attack node. Yeah, the closed captions site has been down for a bit, sadly. The quarantine node. ADS. It's another orb. Actually, I assume destroying each of the nodes probably takes abilities away from this thing. That's probably how it worked. The only node you've fought is the one in the Masked Carnival. Oh, I haven't done the Masked Carnival yet. It did big laser things. And I'm dead. Get used to that. That happens a lot. I die a lot. Clunk. Hey. Nod. Oh, there's my groceries. Alright, gonna go get my groceries, so gonna go on a break, and I'll feed the cat while I'm gone, so that we don't have to worry about going AFK again later. Yeah, long break. Give you music. Alright, I shall be back. Hello, I am back. Sorry about the long AFK. I wasn't expecting the grocery delivery yet, so it was a surprise. I thought it wasn't due for another hour or whatever. Otherwise I would have just waited and then started the stream afterwards. Ah well. Alright, I'm back. I've fed the cat. We don't need to worry about cat alarm. Got a new drink of water. Let's go back to Binding Coils run. Alright, so this was the end of turn 2. We fought a giant orb. And no cutscene at the end of that one, I don't think. Nope, okay. Alright, turn 3. At the depth of 1233 YALMS, your party comes upon the fragment of Dalamud the Garleans had sought. Its true identity is the Ragnarok, a colossal starship which fell away from the Lesser Moon moments before Bahamut burst free of his prison over the Cartano Flats. To reach your destination, you must venture through this relic of ancient Alag. Stay ever on your guard, for every shadow may conceal dangers. So we're going through a starship. It's pretty cool. Alright. Oh yes, this one. This one is weird. Engine room. Sorry, the Ragnarok engine room. Minus 1233 YALMS. Yeah, this is a very weird one. I'll mostly skip over this one because it's a, it's just like a platforming maze. I'll let you watch a little bit so you know what I'm talking about, but it's probably the least interesting of all the turns. There's no boss. It looks cool. It's got a cool aesthetic. But yeah, it's all about these little jump pads. Like you choose where you want the arrow to go, and then you stand on the middle. We're just figuring out how it works here. Boing! Then you get launched off. Fight some dark matter things. Some dread guards, whatever those are. Dark matter mantis. And then we start to come across like split pathways and you have to find your way through. Yeah, it's kind of just a bit of a maze. Multiple paths, find your way to the end. Yeah, activate these silent terminals. And hey, it's finished. Yeah, you just kind of, you go down further and further. And then it ends. Then it just ends. No boss or anything. So yeah, that's a strange one. Hello, Cleo. Hello, are you back? No, she's back for food. Alright, turn 4. At 1524 YALMS below the surface, employing the Ragnarok's drive cylinder as a makeshift lift, your party proceeds toward the main bridge. Yet you must work for every YALM you gain, for Delaman's internal defences will not allow you to pass unmolested. There's not a lot of cutscenes in this raid yet. Sorry, I was just talking to Steve about stuff. Yeah, this turn 4, it's an elevator. You fight lots of things on the elevator. Clockwork Knights, Clockwork Soldiers. Where were these from? Someone mentioned they were making, they were from, was it FF13? These Clockwork Soldiers? Clockwork Dreadnought. They're making food. Did you miss anything? Not really. The early, these early sections are pretty uneventful. We go, apparently we're in a ship called the Ragnarok, but we just did a platforming puzzle thing, and this is an elevator. Elevator boss. Yeah, the raid starts pretty slow, but a lot happens later on, so. Yeah, this part is like those side-scrolling beat-em-ups where you fight a bunch of enemies on an elevator. Okay. You were also dusting off the black kitty turned brown. Aww. Covered in dirt. Oh, cats. Okay. And that's that one complete. That one didn't really have a boss either, did it? We fought that Dreadnought. I guess that Dreadnought was the boss? And we reached the bottom, I think? Clockwork Dreadnought. Oh yeah, there were several Dreadnoughts. Yeah, and that was the end. Another not very eventful one. I don't think there's any cutscene there. Yeah. Yeah, this was the point where I was going, where are the cutscenes? Where's the story? Oh, that's soon. Okay, and then turn 5. The final section of the first raid. Having overcome the seemingly endless waves of hostile constructs, you and your stalwart companions continue the descent into an unknown abyss. At the depth of 1910 YALMS, you are assailed by a winged terror, an ancient dragon brought to heel by the Alligans and made to do their bidding. The trials grow ever more arduous, but you are resolved to press on for the sake of the truth. You can always tell when the ground has finally warmed up in spring because the cats will come back dusty. Common problem to winter. Aww. You just go and roll around. Aww. It's very cute when cats do that. I think we have some actual cutscenes this time. The Ragnarok, Central Core, 1910 YALMS. This area is called the right hand of Bahamut, apparently. This is going rather more smoothly than I expected. It is indeed convenient to have a hero on hand. Gods, that the cavern should open up again, even at this depth. Huh, this resembles a finger. And so it should. This is Bahamut's hand. As with the wings, it seems to be frozen, and for that I count my blessings. But I again find myself wondering, how is it able to retain physical form? I had assumed that Bahamut's reversion to ether was the cause of the widespread changes to the realm. But if he is still here, then that theory no longer holds. What was it, then, that brought about the realm's sudden regeneration? There is still so much we do not know about Cartano. I haven't the slightest inkling how deep these caverns run, but we must continue. So we saw Bahamut's big wing in the background earlier, and now we're on a claw. Also, there's dragons. Hi. It's got like it's wearing like this weird, messed up collar. So this dragon is named Twintania. Yeah, this is basically the final boss of the first raid. It does this nasty dive thing where if it knocks you out into the purple area, you insta-die. That's a little bit scary. Summon some friends. This fight was rather infamous on release due to being incredibly buggy. Oh dear. That's a shame. Never did figure out what that little circle on the ground there is. And the boss takes a while to... Oh yeah, here we go. Dive bomb. Ugh. I'm still alive. Oh no! Oh, they're both dead. And I'm black mage at the moment, so I don't really have any way to heal myself. So I'm probably dead too. That's fine. It's alright. Counting will carry us. Counting carry. And this part, I'm assuming it's just timed. It's just giving you time to kill the snakes. It's just since we have a level 80, they just melt. So we just gotta wait for the boss to show up again. When it feels like showing up. I'll just skip it. Oh, here we go. I decided to use the limit break, but the boss blew me up instead. I'm still not sure what that ability is, or how you survive that, but I didn't manage to survive that at any point. And then the boss died. Yay! We did it! A Binding Coil of Bahamut. Complete. That's the first coil. Probably the least interesting of the coils. By far, actually. Very little story here. A little bit of... Some little teasers here, though, for later. Elegant silk. A bunch of tokens that I think you use for crafting. Do-do-do. And we go through the teleporter. And end up somewhere interesting. Main bridge. Ah yes, so this is the main bridge of the Ragnarok. The ship. Okay. So there's just a spaceship here, by the way. An old, elegant spaceship. We use an elevator. This contraption, is it used to control the saturation of ether? I suppose there is only one way to find out. So LSA is just hanging out with us throughout this little journey. The dragon you vanquished earlier. Doubtless you noticed the peculiar contraption about its neck. It was likely a receptor of some description, used to enslave the creature. Ancient Alag possessed the means to control dragons, it would seem. The Ishgardians would kill for this knowledge, though to be sure, it could as easily be brought to bear against them. An army of dragons could turn the tide of any battle, as the Garleans once learned to their sorrow. I would not be the least bit surprised if they now sought to exploit this power. Whatever their plans, this serves as another reminder of the might of the Allegans. One cannot help but wonder how so advanced a civilization came to fall. Yeah, well, we found out why in Crystal Tower, so we're learning a lot about the Allegans between this and Crystal Tower. Very cool architecture. Gods be good. This is Bahamut's head. And that enormous crystal, it pulsates as if it were a heart. Then the primal that had awakened. Was Bahamut all this time? No. No, this can't be true. This would mean that grandfather died for naught. Confound it! We do not know enough to strike at it now. We must withdraw. Who is that? No, it can't be. Grandfather? Is it truly you? No. Don't leave me again. Please. Grandfather! I know. We can do no more for now. You're back. What's going on? So we got to the bottom. There was an enslaved dragon that we fought. It had like a collar controlling it. We defeated it, and then we found this huge chamber with just Bahamut's head. And also, it seems like Louis Soir is here. So we don't know what's going on there either. But we found a giant Bahamut head. That's not nightmarish at all. The big explosion is what the Neuralink puddle is for, as well as one other mechanic that I didn't see. Oh, okay, yep. That makes sense, thank you. Yeah, so there's also just a big spaceship down there as well, apparently, called the RAGNAROK. But this looks like... How did we come to be in northern Thanalan, of all places? Oh, but such details matter little. Grandfather's alive, Melchan. Bahamut did not defeat him. But why won't he return to us? I don't understand. This expedition has yielded more questions than it did answers. At any rate, we would both be better for a rest. Let us return to the Waking Sands and reflect upon what we have seen. Thank you, Melchan. Without you, none of this would have been possible. We end up here in northern Thanalan. So now you have to go talk to... I think it's Urianjo? Yeah, so... Is it FF8's Ragnarok? It's definitely inspired by it, I'd say. Yeah, so the spaceship seems to have been made by the Allegans. And it was probably part of how they created Dalamud, is the current theory, I suppose. Well, let's go... Oh yeah, then we do turn 5 again. for, we brought in a couple more people. We brought in Waffle. And we brought in Steve. And we fought this again just so Waffle could get the quest completion. Yeah, this was the dragon boss we fought, Twintania. And I died again. Me dying is going to be a running theme. Yeah, we found out a lot of things there. We found out the Alligans were able to control dragons. Because Twintania had a dragon, a collar thing on it, controlling it. We travelled through a big spaceship called the RAGNAROK. And we ended up finding a massive cavern with Bahamut's head. Bahamut seems to be alive, but it's just a head at the moment. And we also seem to have found Louis Soir. And so that was pretty fascinating. So we go back to Waking Sands, which is where we meet up with Alizé and Urianger. I'm pleased to see you again, Mel-chan. I have already shared the fruits of our expedition with Urianger. Let us together ponder their implications. There's a lot of text here, in between this and the next raid. Full glad am I for thy safe return. Lady Alizé hath apprised me of thy many experiences. I was probably talking about something here with my friends. I had to kind of guess how much time I would need for text. Later on I just started skipping through, assuming I would just pause. So it might be a little weirdly paced here. Okay. As thou wilt doubtless be aware, Master Louis Soir was my lady's grandsire. Gravely concerned was I for her safety, but 'twould seem I need not have been so. With all my heart, I do thank thee for watching over her. But come, thou must speak with Mistress Alizé upon that which transpired within the Binding Coil. May it serve to bring us closer to the truth of the calamity. And no new dialogue there. I think I hear thunder. Is there going to be a bloody thunderstorm? God. I just want to stream Final Fantasy XIV. Come on. Hang on. Shall we begin then? Urianger, I understand you have a report of your own to share with us. Aye, my lady. Even as though didst emerge from the depths, an etheric disturbance betokening primal activity was observed. In Mordona was it marked first. By comparison of time and magnitude, we have since deduced its origin, the Cartano Flats. Strange. There have been no reports of primal activity in that region. It could only have been Bahamut. That would certainly explain how we came to be in northern Thanalin. Somehow, the cavern took us all the way from Vilbrand to the heart of Aldenard. 'Twould seem so, my lady. It is all but certain, then. After Bahamut disappeared 5 years ago, he hid himself deep beneath Cartano, and has since lain dormant, regenerating. Aye, my lady. Taken together with thine own account of Bahamut's continued presence, the land's slowness to heal, and the disorder of the etheric currents, do point to one conclusion. Bahamut stirreth. If left unchecked, the primal shall drink of Eorzea's life force, till he doth waken, to rain ruin upon the land. Come on. There we go. Rest assured, I do not mean to give up, Melchan. Bahamut may still live, but so too does Grandfather. For the past 5 years, he has been keeping vigil over his nemesis, making certain that the Primal does not escape. Master Louis Soir doth yet live? I durst not hope. And thou art certain 'twas no mere manifestation of thine all too sorely felt grief? That's a pretty rude thing to say, Arianje. Are you sure you're not imagining things, is basically what he said. I know how desperate this may sound, Arianje, but I saw him with my own 2 eyes, as did Melchan. But he vanished deeper into the labyrinth before we had the chance to speak. 2 more like fragments of Delamud pierced the earth when the lesser moon fell. One we have seen. If we can but find the other 2, I am certain that we will find Grandfather as well. If thou so believest, my lady, then I too shall have faith. If it please you, I shall notify the Grand Companies of this development. All Eorzea must stand united if we are to avert a repeat of the calamity. That would not be necessary, Arianje. Being the great conciliator that he is, Alphino will seek to unite Eorzea of his own accord. If rumours are true, that endeavour is already well underway. So let us leave the diplomacy to the diplomat, while we continue our investigation of Bahamut. I swear to you, no matter what it takes, we will find my grandfather and uncover the whole truth of the calamity. Melchan, you have heard me swear to do these things, but without your strength, I cannot hope to make good on my word. Please help us. The danger to Eorzea is not past. For the sake of all who abide here, I pray that you will ever be our sword in the darkness. Nod. Alizé's pledge. The truth is down there, is the achievement. A crystal-choked abyss lieth beneath Cartano Flats, the unholy cradle of an elder primal, and by thy hand were truths great and terrible wrested from those once celestial depths. Yet, as is oft the case, an answer doth breed a profusion of questions, and the unknown doth beckon with irresistible allure. Ne'er had the mysteries of the Red Moon lain so neatly within our grasp. Lady Alizé hath sent word of her coming. 'Tis time once more to brave the precipice and leap, unflinching, into the jagged wound that doth gape beneath the land. Mine apologies. I trust I have not kept you waiting over long? Melchan, I am both delighted and reassured to have you at my side once more. I would not waste your time with trivialities. Let us proceed directly to the discussion of that which we have learned, and that which we hope to learn anon. Initially, it was evidence of a new primal that led us to delve into the cavern beneath Castrum Occidens, and to explore the subterranean scars left after the fall of Delamud. As you will well recall, what we found was a vast, largely intact fragment of the fallen satellite, and within the depths of that structure, we discovered not the new primal we had expected, but the broken form of Bahamut himself. Yet even this great revelation would soon be overshadowed by the appearance of my own dear grandfather. I have since shared our sundry findings with Rambrose, preeminent scholar of the Sons of St. Koinuk, and he, in turn, did kindly furnish me with his theory concerning the Elder Primal's Allagan prison. 'Twould seem that Dalamud was constructed to gather unto itself the rays of the sun, and thence channel this radiant bounty unto the Crystal Tower. The ancients saw great potential in Bahamut's capacity to manipulate energies of otherwise unmanageable magnitude. 'Twas for this reason that they did bind him within the Red Moon to serve as its living core. So yeah, that we found out in the Crystal Tower story. And it's part of what led to the fall of their civilization. Suddenly it's raining hard outside. Do you remember the sight that greeted us at the culmination of our journey? The colossal devices that surrounded and seemed to cradle the incomplete form of the Elder Primal? From the information provided to us by the Sons of St. Koinarch, we have learned that these contraptions were termed internment hulks, and that each bore the designation Ragnarok class. The purpose of these hulks is believed to be twofold. First, they are meant to act as binding coils, rendering Bahamut incapable of escape. And second, they are meant to feed him. Perversely, the self-same energy which prevents him from moving also serves to sustain his corporeal manifestation. Bahamut is permitted neither to die, nor to truly live. He merely is allowed to be. For century upon century was the Elder Primal thus imprisoned, bound about in fetters so subtle in their working, and yet so adamant, that though his cell be destroyed, Bahamut lieth yet at the mercy of his long-departed captors. It has long been held that the Primals require the prayers of their faithful followers to exist, yet none alive worship Bahamut. Could it be, then, that the Allegans found a way to simulate prayer itself? It seems the only logical explanation. I would postulate, therefore, that the regenerative mechanisms in question also supply something akin to the power of prayer. No wonder Bahamut was so grumpy. Yeah. He was a prisoner all that time, used for power. Hopefully there's no power outage on my end. Yes. If I suddenly go offline, it's because a power outage. Ugh. Power outages. Ugh. Consequently, if all of the internment hulks were to be rendered inactive, Bahamut should dissolve into the ether. Upon the evidence of thy previous foray, we determined that the Elder Primal is sustained by 3 such binding coils. Thus did we commence to scour the realm, and found in the Twelveswood an as yet unexplored fragment of the Lesser Moon, bearing a most familiar etheric signature. And after conducting a preliminary investigation, we believe we have discovered a point from which this North Shroud fragment, and the second of the internment hulks, can be entered. As Eorzea's sword in the darkness, I would have you once more lead the charge. I will, of course, be there at your side. Once you have made your preparations, head to Foregord Float and make yourself known to my assistant, Serpent Lieutenant Anael. The fallen fragment is not far from the settlement, and her position provides a convenient rendezvous point. Nod. I will break these Allagan fetters, for they bind my grandfather as surely as they bind Bahamut. So we've got a goal. We want to go to all the internment hulks and turn them all off. Off to Foregord Float we go. Yeah, so a lot of these Ragnarok hulks, you can see them as you're travelling around doing quests. It's not until here that we actually get to go into them. Nod, nod, yes. Hey, freak, how are ya? Melchan and Gura, I've been expecting you. My name is Anael. You know what, I'm just going to go check how bad is this storm going to be. Should I just stop streaming? Yeah, I didn't expect this. Yeah. Alright, just gonna go see what's up with this storm. Yes, that's arrived actually.
Oh, it's arrived, that's it?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Probably
Yes. Just talking to Steve. You're fine? Ah, that's good. I'm still getting over this cold that I had. So I still sound kind of weird. I feel mostly pretty good though. Possible shower, says the weather. Yeah. Thanks. Helpful. What do I want? Oh yes, I want the satellite map. So we can see how much thunder and lightning there is. Lightning specifically. Okay, what have we got? It's manifesting at the moment, so should be okay. See how we go though. If I go offline, you know why. Okay. Yeah, so this is footage that I've already recorded because I did a couple nights of doing the Binding Coils with my friends. It was really good. Yeah, so now we're replaying the videos so you all can see the story. Because there's a really good story in Binding Coils. You're still salty about Capcom's lackluster presentation? Yeah, because I had to, it was at like 5 AM my time, so I had to go to bed. So I woke up excited. I looked up info and just no one was talking about the presentation. I'm like, did nothing happen? Like, okay, pretty much nothing happened. Yeah, that was a shame. I was hoping for something. Ah, well. Ah, well. We've got Nintendo tonight, so I think last year, didn't I stream the Nintendo presentation and talked over it? Don't know if I'll do that this year since I'm sick at the moment. It'd be nice to, though. Let's see. Was that last year I did that? I think so. Don't know, I might stream it, I might not. I'll see how I feel tonight. I might just relax and watch it. Okay. I have been accorded the rank of Lieutenant within the Order of the Twin Adder, that I may better assist Lady Alizé with her endeavours here in the Twelveswood. Such authority has allowed me to act without interference from the local soldiery, and to conduct a preliminary investigation of the Outer Springs fragment. From what we have seen of the exterior, the structure shares many common features with the one you explored in NOSCEA, and likely plays host to a similar complement of guardians. But I fear words alone will do little to prepare you for what lies ahead. Pray seek out my comrade to the south and west. He is charged with observing all that occurs within the vicinity of the fragment, and will be well placed to show you the thing, if nothing less. Have a care when exploring the southern reaches of Outer Springs. Though I understand the desire to examine that massive structure up close, the surrounding area is rife with lumbering golems. Oh no, not golems! You have no luck with these announcements? You're hoping to see info regarding Fable from Microsoft or Dragon's Dogma 2? Yeah, I was hoping to find out what their team is working on at the moment. Itsuno's team. But yeah, we didn't really hear anything from them. Or maybe AA7. No AA7 announcement. Nothing regarding Mega Man or Devil May Cry. Ah well. Just a very uninteresting thing. We'll see what Nintendo has in store for tonight, though. Oh, it's tonight my time. It's like 1:30 AM. What business brings you to this broken land? Unless you fancy being ground to a bloody pulp under the granite fists of a wandering golem, I suggest you bugger off. Thanks. Lovely chap. Oh, my apologies, madam. Lady Alizé did send word of your impending arrival, but 'twould seem I've grown rather too accustomed to shooing away curious sellswords and reckless explorers. Behold, if you will, one of the fallen shards of the Red Moon, Dalamud. Our initial survey uncovered no evidence of the Empire's presence, which, while fortunate in itself, meant that the approach to the fragment had yet to be cleared. After much effort, however, we succeeded in carving out a semblance of a path, which should grant you access to the entrance, and that, I'm afraid, is where our progress ended. The interior? Well, assuming that the architecture of this hulk resembles the first, the master controls you seek will be located on the bottommost layer, past all the ingenious and deadly defences of which the ancient Elegans seemed so indecently fond. If you would know more, I'm afraid there is nothing for it but to brave the depths of the fragment yourself. Lady Alizé will soon be arriving at Fulgord. Pray do not tarry on your way back to the lieutenant's post. I imagine our young mistress will be most eager to commence the expedition. The road ahead promises peril aplenty, and I would humbly suggest that this is not the occasion to stint on preparation or provisions. May the 12 watch over you. Oh, and do take care when you're exploring. Back to Alizé. Little bit of back and forth for this one, isn't there? Mistress Angura, I trust the private's explanation was worth the journey? Simply securing an approach to the fragment's entrance proved a monumental task. I dare not think what defeating its inner defences will entail. If there is aught I might do to aid you... Ah, Lady Oh, my apologies, Master Alphino. Has there been a change of plan? Yeah, how do you tell them apart? It's Alphino. Urianger informed me of the impending expedition. I merely came to exchange a few words with my fellow scion before she disappeared into the depths of the second coil. Mo-chan, though I would strenuously deny it were she present, my sister's admiration and affection for our grandsire exceeds even mine own. Upon the matter of his legacy, therefore, Alizé is wont to go above and beyond the call of duty. In our grandfather's absence, she has made the salvation of Eorzea her personal crusade. 'Twas that which prompted her to brave the perils of the first coil. Yet the fact that she risks her life in this manner is not the greatest of my concerns. No, it is her subsequent fixation upon my grandfather's shade that worries me most. This quest to rid the world of Bahamut must not become a quest to save a man long dead. My sister must needs have a better reason to fight. A time will come when the fate of the realm rests upon our shoulders, and when it does, we must be strong in our resolve, and certain of the stakes for which we risk all. There is a wide difference between fighting for the good of Eorzea and fighting for the love of a man who died for the good of Eorzea. Alizé must choose her own path. She cannot rely on grandfather to choose it for her, for he is gone. I am glad that it is you with whom she makes this journey. If Alizé is to discover a deeper purpose, then where better to find one than at the side of Eorzea's greatest champion? 'Twas there that I found mine, after all. Aww. But 'tis past time I was gone. Fair fortune in your endeavours, Mo-chan. Ah, Lieutenant Anel, was it? I would appreciate you making no mention of my presence here to my sister. There. Lady Alyssa is due to arrive at any moment. I shall abide in confident expectation of your triumphant return. Boop. Second coil of Bahamut, now accessible. Alright, so about to go into the second one. It is fortunate that no Imperial forces bar your path into this fragment of Dalamud, but do not underestimate the dangers that lurk without. As for the dangers that lie within, I have little insight or advice to offer beyond the painfully obvious. Prepare for the worst. Little ominous. Alright. And then I made a, I split that into a second video. A coil, the second coil. And there we go. I forgot to have a little fly over the fragment, but when you're questing in North Shroud, you can see the big fragment there. I've seen that like my entire time playing the game and wondered what it was. I didn't realise it was part of Dalamud. So we'll check that out in a moment. Just going to drink some water. Okay, that helped a lot. We'll do the second coil, I reckon, and then I'll see how I go, how I feel. Alright, so this is the second of the 3 raids. Turn 1. Your foray into the caverns beneath Castrum Ocidans has led you to an unexpected revelation. The incomplete form of Bahamut, harbinger of the calamity, slumbers deep within Earth. Though seemingly a prisoner, the Elder Primal is gradually being regenerated by the massive Ragnarok-class interment hulks that surround the unmoving entity. Alizé reasons that if Bahamut's full restoration is to be prevented, then all 3 coils sustaining and repairing the dreadful being must be deactivated. Filled with new determination, you assemble a group of courageous comrades and set your sights on the fragment of Dalamud found in the North Shroud. Alright. So that's our goal. We need to go turn off the interment hulks. Because we think that will make Bahamut go away again. Oh no, golems! The Black Shroud, Dalamud's shadow. Didn't notice how good this music is. There's lots of unique music in here. And then cool things happen. This bridge of crystal just appears out of nowhere. It's very cool. How strange. Why could we not see all this before? I suppose it is only to be expected that corrupted crystal should accompany a disturbance of this magnitude. After all, the fragment likely pierced the ground to a depth of many hundreds of YALMS. The swirling ether leaking from the wound must warp the very air, creating a veil that hides these formations from view. Well, it is not as if we expected this to be a straightforward task. Let's tread carefully, shall we, Melchan? 'Tis imperative that we win through to the depths of this structure and disable the mechanism. This is the part where I started going through text much more quickly, because everyone was speed reading and I didn't want to be left behind. 'Tis imperative that we win through to the depths of this structure and disable the mechanism that powers Bahamut's regeneration. Of course, if we should chance to encounter my grandfather upon the way, I shall not let him go again, not while there is hope that he may yet be saved. But mayhap we should put such thoughts from our mind until after we have successfully gained entrance to the place. that opening up ahead appears a suitable point of ingress. We've got all this floating rock and stuff. It's a pretty cool landscape. Destroy dark matter clusters, and that kind of changes the crystals so we can continue. Oh yeah, no, I swapped to Summoner just so that I would be able to battle res people. Kill some evil plants, made of dark matter apparently. Or enhanced with dark matter, who knows. I'm just assuming the dark matter creatures are like elegant experiments. It's a giant plant! Oh no. That's the boss of this turn. Rafflesia. Yeah, Rafflesia. If I'm pronouncing that correctly. Oh yeah, Steve was having a lot of lag issues here. It's very weird because we're on the same internet connection and I wasn't having issues. Oh, boss is dead. Evil plant dead. Nod. So that's turn one. It's essentially getting into the Ragnarok. Skip ahead. Alright, turn two. After battling your way through to the base of the colossal fragment that impales the ground in outer springs, your party enters the structure through an opening in its outer shell. The sight that greets you is of an endless procession of azure-lit passages, within which can be glimpsed the grotesque silhouettes of chimerical monstrosities. Yeah, I guess it would make sense that these dark matter creatures are experiments. Because, yeah, they just mentioned chimerical monstrosities, so yeah. Turn 2. And here's where I definitely started skipping through dialogue, because I realised that doing the dialogue slowly took ages, and it was kind of starting to get late, so I started just going through dialogue quickly, assuming that I can just pause it, which I can. Hello. That armor? No, it couldn't be. Be on your guard, Melchan. Though it defies all reason that he should live, I know of only one who wears such armor. he whom the Empire raised as high as the Black Wolf himself, the legatus of the 7th Legion. I speak of the madman who brought the Meteor project to fruition. We face the White Raven, Nail Vandanus, harbinger of the 7th Umbral Era. So apparently this was the original antagonist of 1.0, of original FF14, Nail Vandanus. Nail Vandanus? Ah, that was the name of the fool who perished upon the eve of the promised Age of Glory. It should not be uttered within these hallowed halls. Oh no! Red eyes. Out of love for his loyal servant, the one true deity named me Nail Deus Darnus. Deus? Deus, I think. Nail Deus Darnus. That makes more sense now, since that's their rank. Okay. So Nail went up in rank. And from the glowy red eyes, we know that Nail is tempered. So I think Nail was tempered all throughout 1.0, weren't they? Not sure. I meant to try and find a good story summary of 1.0, but I haven't found one yet. The one true deity? Bahamut! He speaks of Bahamut! O Lord Bahamut, thy name is as sweet water to parched lips. How my heart swells at thy sacred touch. This blessed sanctum is the domain of my God and his beloved children. Seek to defile its glory, and you will answer to me. So yeah. How is this possible? From what Alphino has told me, Nail was slain on the eve of the calamity. You forget what's tempered? Oh, that means that they're under the control of a primal. Yeah, tempering is like the primal, or any primal seems to have the ability to temper mortals and just basically just control their minds, and it's a permanent thing. Whatever the truth of the matter, we must be on our guard. There can be no reasoning with the worshippers of a primal. Yeah, that's one of the reasons our character is special, because the echo apparently means we're immune to tempering. That's one of the reasons we can fight primals without fear of being influenced by them. The Black Shroud, the Outer Coil. Your memory's garbage? No, it's okay. You thought they used a different word like touched or something? Oh, yeah, they seem to use a different word for different primals, don't they? Yeah, touched is for the sylphs. Actually, I'll let this play. Tempered was used a lot for Ifrit, and now for Bahamut. What did they use for Garuda? I forget. It's the same concept, it's just sometimes they use different terms for it. Chimera! Oh no! So this is another elevator boss. We're just on an elevator, zooming around. It's kind of cool though, because this one's like moving like horizontally and stuff, or diagonally. Yeah, something I really like so far about FF14's raid design is just the different areas and wings of them just look totally different. Like, you really go on just a visual journey throughout these places. Because in WoW, the different wings just look almost identical. Sometimes you'll go from like outside to inside or whatever, but it's all like the same tile set, the all same colour scheme. Whereas you see a lot of different sites in these raids. They're very visually interesting. Ha! We've arrived! God, that looks cool! Hey, Counting Kittens, how are ya? And thank you again for all your help doing the Binding Coils. Oh, it's a snake! Binding Coils is an interesting study in terms of the stuff they tried in it, like the bounce pads. Yeah. Definitely did some experimenting. Alright, so this is Melusine. Bioweapon storage is this area, apparently. So this is, yes, yeah, this is a bioweapon. She did. You had a blast? Oh, that's good. Yeah, I had a blast too. It was great. Nod. What was that message back there? The Lamia Prosector surrenders its life force to Melusine. Okay. Mechanic we didn't have to worry about because we just stomped it. Yeah, this internment Hulk in particular seems to be big on the bioweapons. Looking forward to doing the Heavensward raids and post-game trials when we get to them. Nice, yeah, same here. Ah, this is where I restarted the router to try and clear up Steve's lag. Alright, turn 3. So there's only 4 turns in this one. So we're halfway through the second coil. Your party activates the coil's lift-like mechanism and, at the depth of 3,256 YALMS, arrives within the interior of the internment hulk proper. The great cavern where the elder primal Bahamut dreams is yet many thousands of YALMS distant. Explore the labyrinthine passages of the Ragnarok class starship, and secure a route into the lowest levels of the hulk. Turn 3. Here we go. Well, the storm seems to have buggered off, so that's good. Orbs! Internment Hulk IC-03. Central Decks. 3256 YALMS. I guess this was like a weird maze thing. Also, Alizé is still here with us. Like, technically she's here with us the whole time, it's just we don't see her during combat. I'm reminded of the passages beneath Castrum Occydens. We must have travelled quite some distance below the surface. More of the same tunnels. 12, good. Surely they cannot continue all the way down from the upper floors. 'Tis difficult to see inside, but I have a terrible feeling those corridors house more of the dreadful guardians you have already faced. It is said that the Alligans excelled in the creation of chimerical beasts, and that the Red Moon teemed with 1,000 fantastical monstrosities, all to prevent the enemies of the ancient empire from releasing the Elder Primal. Ah, okay, that makes sense. They were used as guardians. I wonder, the creatures that prowl these halls, could they be the beloved children of which Nail spoke? Well, this is yet another mystery to ponder upon our return. Shall we continue onwards? The Heavensward raids are real fun, and the music for it is amazing. Ah, good. It seems like the music's just going to keep getting better and better. It's already really good. Who's that cool Mikote in the stylish red outfit? Duty commenced. Yeah, this one was like there's multiple paths to take with the bounce pads. And I think the whole thing with this one was we were supposed to avoid sentries that were spawning in all these extra things to attack us. Oh no! Yeah, we got found by a surveillance module and it brought in some clockwork warriors and stuff. The Allagan had a lot of enemies. I mean, I can see why. They were kind of dirtbags. Put the heater on, it's gotten cold. Yeah, these little jump pads, you can... The lit up blue sections, you can step on those to change the direction of the arrow to go different pathways. I like this music. Finally ordered an MP3 player. Oh, nice. So hopefully you can use that to listen to music while you sleep, so you can turn your poor computer off. Ah, yep, that's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. Authentication error. Activating defense system. Oh no. Each of these areas just looks so different, don't they? This one's got like this verticality to it with the tunnels that are just arching down. It's very cool. Ah, big robot. Defeat the Avatar. Insert Aang joke here. So this is a thing Steve had trouble soloing. Apparently there's some kind of gimmick where you have to get multiple people to stand in circles or it one-shots you or something. Oh, rip. This thing looks creepy. Like long fingers and stuff. Okay, it's dead. Nod. Didn't my character used to go like, yeah, at the end, but now she nods? Is that just for this dungeon, or is that... Like a story change, I wonder. I hadn't noticed that until just now. Am I going to show all the wipes against Nail? I'll probably like skip through and just show bad stuff that happened. I probably won't show the whole thing though. Been meaning to get one for some time, a couple years actually, but was always a little overwhelmed when trying to find one. Ah, okay, so many options. And then there's also phones that you can use for that. Smartphones. So many options. They nod if it's a serious dungeon. Oh, okay. Thank you. That's cool. Don't think they reuse its model either. Ah, okay. Alright, turn 4. This is the end of the second coil. At a depth of 6,329 YALMS, your exhausted yet determined fellowship enters the Hulk's operations deck. An impossible scene unfolds before you. The surreal landscape bathes in a crimson glare and holding the promise of epic conflict. I'm always a fan of epic conflict. Interment Hulk IC03, the Hollow Charts, 6329 YALMS. Oh, I see, a few victory animations. Oh, that's cool. That's a really good touch. Now we start getting to more important story stuff. That surely cannot be Delamid. How? Where are we? The final resting place of Neo Vandarnus. This is a grave for the undeserving. And for the crime of trespassing upon my god's sanctuary, this place shall serve as your grave too. No. No. LSA says no. In the hour of his failure, Neo Vandarnus felt the currents of aether begin to bear away his essence. But before oblivion could claim the last of him, a divine will reached out, and I was born. It's a lost opportunity that we can't set our own victory animations. Oh yeah, that'd be cool. I'm going to read the story for this, and then when the fight starts, yeah. Then did the words of my God resound in mine ears. Bring unto mine enemies crushing defeat, that they might know despair without end, and claim thee thus the victory which thou wert once denied. Jetpack! Wings! Delamid gives you wings! I'm sorry, that was a terrible joke. 'Twould seem that little remained of Nao's essence when Bahamut plucked him from the brink of oblivion, and the result was this strange simulacrum. Nevertheless, her aura bespeaks great power. She channels the rage of the Elder Primal himself. Lord Bahamut, thy wish is my command. None shall scape thine unquenchable fury. Come, ye dull, unthinking beasts, bare your teeth. They will avail you not in the calamity to come. Alizé is like, yeah, I know. I'll go stand over here. That design's pretty cool, actually. Yeah, so this... yeah, Counting's re-explaining it in chat. Excellent, thank you. Nail was never Nail. Nail was actually his sister Eula, pretending to be her brother. That's right, Eula, I forgot. Yeah, Eula, as in E-U-L-A, as in license agreement. Yeah, so this was a result of a translation issue, translation error, localization error, where Nail was always meant to be female, but in 1.0 the localization team didn't realize, and so they made Nail male, and so that leads to this weirdness where suddenly we find out Nail's female now. And so the lore at this point is Bahamut made Nail female when like resurrecting her, but then I think they retconned it later to be that this is actually Nail's sister who took his place or something. Yeah, they had to kind of slap something together that kind of made sense because they messed up Nail's gender. The music in this fight is called Flight of the White Raven. It's Nail's leitmotif, and an absolute banger of a track. Yeah, this fight is rough, even unsynced, because, yeah, there's a lot of insta-death. A lot of ways to die. It took us a few tries, from what I remember. Yeah, before the Eula thing, it was Bahamut resurrecting Nail as a woman for shits and giggles, I guess. Yes. Yeah, so the Eula thing is a retcon they had later. I'm not sure when we'll run into that, but yeah. And I'm dead now, by the way. It's all good. It's 3.0 is when they do the retcon? Okay. Cool. Meteors! It's a pretty cool fight, honestly. It's pretty shiny and flashy. Dead, yup. Yeah, she's immune at this point. You have to get through this meteor phase. Just looking at the landscape. Some champion. They do some great things with it in the Shadowbringers post-trial series. Oh, okay, that's cool. 10 seconds to Mega Flare. 5 seconds to Mega Flare. It's probably fine. Yeah, and you have to hide behind the little meteor fragments. And the landscape changes. How cool is that? And also just drops a building on you. Which insta-kills you. And also summons dragons. And then we died. Damn you, father, you sent him to die. What was that from? A reference to? Alright, how many trials did it take? I forget. There's another white. There's the building. Boom! Yeah, this fight's mean. That's such a cool design though, jeez. Hey, we did it! Splat. Hey, it turns out we were on a holographic grid the whole time. A holodeck, basically. It was all a hologram! Okay, I haven't seen that yet. Okay. That's the second clue complete. Look at us all rezzing up. Guillotine, a Dark Knight weapon. Pretty cool. They never reused that model? Oh, wow. It is a cool model. This would just be a lot of unique stuff in this raid. So yeah, it's quite a treat to go into. Actually, there was something I wanted to look up about Nail. I'll do that quickly. I wonder if the FF wiki has... Oh, I wonder... Am I going to run into spoilers if I look up Nail on the wiki? I am, aren't I? So I'm wondering if maybe the reason they got the gender wrong might be that Nail use masculine pronouns in Japanese. Maybe that's why. No, this doesn't really have any info. Probably. Yeah, because in Japan, pronouns are a bit more, like language is gendered, but it's a bit more fluid. Like you have a lot of situations where men use feminine language, like watashi, watashi instead of boku. And some more masculine women use masculine language. Use neutral pronouns for memory? Ah, okay. Didn't actually know they were neutral pronouns. That's good. And I just want to go watch a bunch of documentaries about 1.0. Alright. That's over with. Oh. I forgot. She's still alive? Question mark? And was never explicitly referred to as either gender. Okay. And of course there was no voice acting in 1.0? Okay. Poor creature. Would that you had never been born. Wow. Alizé. Wow. Harsh. But considering everything Nail's done, probably fair? You had surrendered your physical form and collapsed into ether. But Bahamut denied you death and imprisoned what little was left of you in an ethereal shell resembling... what, I wonder? Images from your memory, perhaps? But that shell is now broken, and your primal deity seems disinclined to sustain your existence. My primal deity? I kneel to no Akon. What need have I to beg the favour of such filth? I am Nael Vandarnus, legatus of the 7th Legion. No, a moment. My thoughts are clouded, and this body is not mine own. Could it be that you spoke the truth? Was I ensorcelled by the Lesser Moon's ancient prisoner? That will not happen again. You speak as if Bahamut no longer controlled you. But that's impossible. Once a primal ensnares a mind, it cannot be freed. Unless Bahamut simply relinquished his claim. What need has he of a broken spirit, bound for the ethereal realm? Oh, that I should fall prey to the very influence I sought to purge from the land. The irony is galling. But do not assume that all of my actions were chosen for me. It was my will that the Meteor Project be resurrected. Mine and none other. Yet it seems that my grand designs were destined to fail. Even the ungentle release of death was denied me. Nael, please, you must tell us more of the calamity. I must know the truth of what has befallen the world, and what has become of my grandfather, Archon Louisoix. You are Louisoix's grandchild? Ah, the fates are generous with their cruelty. Continue on, if you would have your answers. They await you at the terminus of your path. But know that this path leads only to despair. The light of truth was ever harsh and unforgiving. Why do you say this? Grandfather will be freed once we put a stop to Bahamut's restoration, will he not? What are you not telling us? Steel yourself, child. Only unbending resolve and merciless strength can conquer what lies ahead. The weak can do naught but weep under the pall of their own misery, as did the frail child I once was. I forgot about that part. Nael is very much inspired by Sephiroth. Ah, okay, yep. Yeah, so it seems like primals can untemper people if they don't want them anymore. Interesting. Nael's story is really tragic. Her beloved brother was sent to die by her father. His fiancée, who was like a sister to her, committed suicide. It's no wonder she was so deranged. Her life was not kind to her. Oh. You're looking for all the versions of a few FF tracks? Found one that made you happy, but it's from Shadowbringers. Ah, okay. Yeah, it's tough. I can't decide if I want to listen to much Shadowbringers music yet or not either. Alright. Silence, chattering raven. Your wretched wings are broken, and you shall soar no more. My crimson moon, your brilliance sears mine eyes. I recognize that voice, Melchan, but never would he say such words. Come, let us finish what we came to do. All will be put aright when the final hulk lies dormant. Grandfather will be himself again. I'm sure of it. Yeah, so now we're actually in the same chamber that we were at the end of the first raid. It's just, we came in from a different way. So this is all a huge cavern that's all connected. We're just here from a different point. Bahamut regenerates more swiftly than I had anticipated. Let us hope that disabling this coil will serve to slow the process. The display seems different, but the controls appear to mimic the mechanism we found in the NOSCEAN Hulk. It shouldn't pose a problem. Milchen, forgive me. The moment I beheld Nail's transformation, hope wilted in my heart. I did not believe you could stand against the manifestation of Bahamut's power. Well, I mean, we didn't several times in a row. For all your fabled strength and skill, I felt certain then that I was going to lose you. Just as I lost my grandfather. Even he, a man for whom naught seemed impossible, was humbled before Bahamut's might. And yet, look how far we have come. 'Tis incredible the feats of which we are capable, our boundless potential. 'Twas this capacity for greatness, I believe, that grandfather so dearly wished to protect. With all that has occurred, I have come to understand that much at least. Nod. "'Tis done. Shall we make our way back to the surface and gather our thoughts? We have seen much that will benefit from Urianger's learned perspective." The Meteor Project was Nail's method of dealing with the Eorzea problem. Just drop a small moon on it. When it was begun, she and the other Garleans had no idea it was a prison for an Elder Primal. Ah, cool. Yeah, I heard stories about 1.0 where no one knew Bahamut was in there, and just as the patches progressed, the moon got closer and closer until the servers went down and you saw the cinematic that revealed Bahamut. That would have been so amazing. Hello. Grandfather? It is you. Then why? Abandon this quest, Alizé. I will not countenance further sabotage of the coils. Sabotage? But we must disable the coils if we are to prevent Bahamut's revival. Your defiance seals your fate. No. No, you are not who I thought you were. My grandfather would never. Foolish girl. How could the White Raven allow herself to be bested by such snivelling opponents? Listen well. We all exist at the pleasure of one divine will. And the word of Lord Bahamut is absolute. Scurry back into your holes, vermin. You have been granted this one reprieve. But should you be so foolish as to crawl into my lord's domain again, I will crush the life from you myself. That light in grandfather's eyes. He has suffered the same fate as Nail. My grandsire is no more. That was naught but a phantom that profanes his noble memory. This mockery must be expunged. I will not rest until I free grandfather's soul from Bahamut's tyranny. Do you hear me, Bahamut? Your time is at an end. Eorzea and my family will be avenged. This must have been such a kick in the stomach to 1.0 players. Louisoix was the big good of 1.0. Oh, yeah. I didn't even play 1.0 and I still felt really sad. Truly, it is wonderful to escape that stifling air and return to northern Thanalan again, it would appear. I must thank you, Melchen. Were it not for your bravery, I strongly doubt that I would be standing here now. But you need not tarry on my account. The danger has passed. Pray go on ahead, and apprise Urianger of all that has occurred. I will join you anon. My thoughts are yet unruly, and I would rest here a while. Pray return to Waking Sands, and report our success to Urianger. I shall follow in due course. Back to the Waking Sands. Which we can just skip over, because it's a video! The triumphant hero doth return. Thine eyes speak of the dread task's completion. The second coil now lieth dormant. Yet I sense the tidings thou bearest are not altogether glad. Pray tell me, what ill hath cast the shadow which falleth now across thy brow? Wow. It's kind of hard to explain. An old foe, and an old friend. So 'twas but the ethereal shadow of Master Louisoix that Lady Elizabeth beheld, an unnatural conjuration in thrall to the elder primal. That the fiend should deign to choose him of all men, even in full knowledge of the shade's true nature, I would be hard-pressed to weather such a confrontation. Yet what agonies must the young mistress have endured? Such torment did she ne'er deserve. Mayhap 'twere better if the Lady Alizé did absent herself from future forays unto the coils. I have come too far to surrender to grief, Urianger. My lady, I am resolved to defeat these fiends, and naught shall sway me from my path. Now, let us peer more deeply into the well of our discoveries. As you wish, my lady. By your leave, I would speak first of the coil's late guardian, Nail Vandanus. Vandanus was a legatus of the Gallian Empire, who strove to bring about Eorzea's final destruction, only to fall, even as the sixth sun did set. If thou hast heard tales of the White Raven, then it is he of whom they speak. Ay, he, I say, for Nail was for certainty no maid. The noble house of Vandanus, as we discovered all too late, had long safeguarded the wisdom of ancient Elag. 'Twas thus that the legatus came to learn the true nature of Dalamud, and to seek to employ the red moon as a weapon against Eorzea. But the crystal tower, and the mechanisms required to command the satellite, yet lay hidden beneath the ground, compelling Nail to construct a far less subtle mechanism, and in his first faltering attempts to communicate with Dalamud, he did likely rouse the satellite's slumbering prisoner. Thenceforth did the White Raven's soul belong to Bahamut. He was fortunate indeed to acquire so powerful a thrall by chance. 'Tis little wonder he was so loath to part with him. Why did a simple thing like death deprive one of so useful a pawn? Though we may accuse him of bungling Vandanus's resurrection, I dare say Bahamut was as content to have a handmaiden as a manservant. I only hope that the two thralls we encountered were the extent of his flock. Yet I cannot help but dwell on Nail's words, those beloved children of whom he spoke. I assumed at first that he referred to the moon's beastly guardians, but should Bahamut have enslaved other mortals, we must needs remove this source of worship. Otherwise, our efforts to disable the coils shall be for naught. Forgive me mine indelicacy, my lady. Thou art wise indeed to speak of expunging the primal thralls. But canst thou truly pursue a course which would cost thee thine own grandsire? My heart and mind are as of one on this matter. Grandfather's salvation can be won but by a single method, the destruction of Bahamut, and aught that might serve to sustain him. Melchen, while Urianger and I endeavour to ascertain the existence of any further thralls, I suggest you grant yourself a moment's respite. Rest assured that I will contact you the moment I have need of your inimitable talents. That we have achieved so much I owe to you. I fear, however, that our trials have barely begun. Though time had dulled the pain of thy passing, I find that I am wounded afresh. Master Louis Soir, what good shall come of this unending search for knowledge and truth? Long have I believed the pursuit of such treasures to be the duty of every true Charlian. Yet when each new revelation serveth only to heap further anguish upon those whom we would fain protect, must we truly reach for more? So you have found your resolve, dear sister. And Alphino's just here listening in. For context, Urianger was a student of Louis Soir. Will you now find a use for the secret? For the key that only you and I hold? Given our familial propensity for curiosity, You would do well to remember that keys may serve to seal doors, as well as to unlock them, and Bahamut is a most unwelcome guest, to whom the door should never have been opened. Achievement unlocked. You can handle the truth. I think this one moves on the story to... Yeah, so I think these were released in like different patches. Yeah, so this is the final Coils quest. Man is wont to cast light wheresoever secrets lie hid in darkness, though that which he illuminateth seldom bringeth him joy. So it is, which such unhappy truths as Bahamut's immense shadow doth conceal. Yet ever onward forgeth Mistress Alizé. Oop. There we go. Yet ever onward forgeth Mistress Alizé, undeterred by the burden of knowledge that weigheth heavy on her heart. 'Tis a perilous path she hath chosen, and a painful one. I prithee, Melchan, remain by her side as her valiant blade, that she might see her quest to its conclusion. Ah, yeah, this is the point you dropped out for the evening? Ah, yeah. Yeah, we did the first 3 turns, we just didn't do turn 4. And then we did turn 4 the next night with you. Melchan, it is well that you are here. My lady, how might I serve you this day? I have met with some difficulty in my mission, Urianger, and I should be grateful for your counsel. As you know, Bahamut's physical form is regenerating beneath the Cartano Flats even as we speak. Also, that scene with Bahamut's like upper body is so much like the a certain site in Mass Effect 2. It reminds me so much of that game. I like the Mass Effect games. If we are to prevent his return, we must needs disable the 2 remaining internment hulks that sustain him. Every moment our mission is delayed, the realm is pushed closer to the brink of destruction. Alas, though I have determined the locations of the fragments of Dalamud leading to the hulks, I have been unable to find a way to enter them. And gaining admittance is but the first step in your perilous undertaking. When last thou descended into Bahamut's subterranean fastness, thou didst discover, didst thou not, that the dread Primal had bound the shade of Nail Vandanas unto his will. And though thou didst consign the fallen Legatus to blessed oblivion, thou mayest recall that the piteous wretch was not alone. Doubt not but that Bahamut's other thralls shall seek to hinder thy passage. You can say his name, Urianger. I have not forgotten that my grandfather is waiting for us. My lady, I would remind you, as I must oft remind myself, that the man whom we both loved and revered is no more. What remaineth is but a shade, which defileth his memory. The vile verbiage that spilleth from his lips must not be heeded, for it cometh not from your grandsire, but from Bahamut himself. You need not worry, Urianger. Come what may, I will not stray from the course. I will not let grandfather's sacrifice be in vain. But mere words will not take us whither we must go. As I said, I have been unable to find a way to enter the fragments of Dalamud. You used to love the Mass Effect games, but after how 3 ended and the generally poor quality of Andromeda, you've pretty much lost interest in the series. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, see, I actually came to Mass Effect like way after 3 came out, so I already knew about the whole mess of the ending. So I actually enjoyed 3 a lot more than a lot of people did. Yeah, I actually kind of liked 3. I also played it with all the DLC, with like the Citadel DLC. Oh, that was so good. Yeah, I didn't touch Andromeda though. That seemed like a train wreck. That seemed like a burning fire. My lady, might I suggest that you visit the fragments again in Melchan's company? Full oft hath the Warrior of Light set events in motion by virtue of her presence alone. 'Tis possible that she may do so again. So that's pretty funny. The Warrior of Light sets events in motion just by being there. That is really funny. I, the while, shall search for answers of mine own. By our efforts combined, full sure am I that the path shall be revealed to us ere long. Were it anyone else, I should question the wisdom of such advice. Yet I cannot deny that what you say about Melchan is true. Very well, I shall do as you suggest. Assuming you have no objections, of course? Good. Now, we seek entry to 2 fragments of Delamed. One lies at the Burning Wall in Eastern Thanalan, and the other at the Singing Shards in Mordona. I left an assistant at each location, with instructions to continue searching for a means of ingress. It is not impossible that they could have since found something useful to us. Let us begin by visiting my men at the Burning Wall. Dex, I think it was. Nod. As one... yeah, we're seeing that dialogue. And yeah, I discovered you could actually ask him about the expedition and his dialogue changes, so I've missed some of that. The greatest truth doth lurk in the deepest abyss. Though unbending resolve placeth thy feet on that precipitous path, only strength of steel will see thee to its end. I know of none but thee and thy companions, who might cleave through the chains binding Bahamut unto this realm. May thy dauntless courage and strength serve thee well on the arduous road ahead. Three wasn't a bad game. Generally pretty good game with a poorly written, fatally overhyped ending. Yeah. I really enjoy the combat in 3. I think it's my favourite of the 3 in terms of combat. I thought because they really figured out like ability cooldowns. Because Mass Effect 2 had a lot of cooldowns that were like things cooled down at the same time, which was really weird. But 3 figured out how to make you use more abilities in your kit. It was really fun combat. Andromeda had great combat and character skills system. Cool. But the setting and characters were pretty lacking. Okay, I might enjoy playing it, but yeah, maybe if I find it on special. Mass Effect 2 was so well regarded as well. It was always going to be a tough act to follow. Yeah. And Melchan just thinks to herself, what? Why are you looking at me like that? It's just a coincidence, okay? Yeah, the whole MacGuffin at the end of ME3. Yeah, I heard stories that they had to like people guess the ending. And they kind of threw out the first draft of 3 and rewrote it or something. That originally it was going to be about dark matter. Yeah. Anyway. I say. Oops. Are you not Mistress Angura, my lady's most faithful companion? Sinus, madam, at your service. And may I say what an honour it is to meet you. Nod. I just nod. how goes the survey, Dex? My lady, it shames me to say that I have found no viable path to the fragment. Though it stands there, before our very eyes, the way thither has thus far proven impassable. When the fragment fell and pierced the land, it caused a prodigious amount of aether to spew forth. 'Twas this that gave rise to the land's twisted lay, which seems destined to thwart our efforts. Even were an opening to exist, I fear that we would struggle to reach it. We cannot give up. Keep trying. So near and yet so far. Well, it avails us naught to stand here and stare at the thing. Let us away to Mordona and try the other fragment. Perhaps Sinus has fared better. Upon that note, my lady, there is something I must tell you. I am sorry to report that I lost contact with my brother just over a bell ago. As you know, the singing shards are home to many fell creatures, ogres among them. While I do not wish to cause you undue alarm, I fear something unspeakable may have happened to Dex. What? Why didn't you give me strength? We must hurry to my assistant's aid, Melchan. Bow. Wait, I'm confused. What was this guy's name? We talked to him. So he calls himself Sinus. And she calls him Dex. Did she get them confused because they're twins or something? Dex and Sinus. I don't know, I'm a bit confused. Fast forward. Perhaps Sinus has fared better. I fear something may have happened to Dex. I'm very confused. Do they have the same name or something? The singing shards are home to a host of fell creatures, ogres among them. If it would not be too much trouble, I should be most grateful if you would find my brother and keep my lady safe. There's always something to do, isn't there? As the hero of light. Yeah, a bit more back and forth before the final coils unlocks. Final raid. Fly through here. We found him over here near some demons. Ogre demons? I don't know. Thank you, adventurer. For a moment there, I feared that my bones were to be ground up and used to bake bread. Heh. I am relieved to see that you are unharmed. It was wrong of me to press such a dangerous task upon you. My lady, your worries are wasted on me. 'Twas nothing at all, I assure you. If it please you, I shall report on my findings. As you can see, though the tip of the fragment is exposed, the rest is encased in rock and crystal, rendering it impossible to enter the structure. We might try excavating the area around the fragment, but that is like to take time. And Hang on, I need water. Okay. I think I'm okay now. Being sick sucks. That would be a giant. Yeah, actually, that was a reference to giants, not ogres? I don't know. We might try excavating the area around the fragment, but that is like to take time. And there really is no telling how deep we may need to dig before we find a suitable point of ingress. Might have to stop streaming pretty soon. As such, I am forced to conclude that gaining entry to this fragment is unrealistic. Forgive me, my lady. Confound it! We are losing precious time. What are we to do now? Now we get a phone call. You were quoting Shrek? Oh, okay, yep. 'Tis I, Urianger. Glad tidings have I for thee and my lady. For a blessing, a way hath been found by which thou mayest enter the remaining fragments of Delamud. Pray escort Mistress Alizé to the cerulean processing plant in northern Thanalan. There, all shall be made clear. Urianger has found a way? Then we must go to him at once. Nod. You needn't linger on my account. Should Master Urianger's method prove viable, rest assured I shall put many malms between myself and this place. By the way, there's a fate nearby. Here goes the fate music. Oh yeah, counting was showing their glamour that they've got ready for the Reaper class. Looks very cool. Yeah, Reaper and Sage are the two new classes that are coming out with the next expansion. They look very cool. Alright, speak to Urianger. Mine apologies for summoning you thus from afar, my lady, but 'tis here that your journey may finally begin. I did wonder. To my knowledge, there are no fragments in northern Thanalan. Nor are you mistaken, my lady. Yet a pathway doth exist, one which you yourself have made use of in the past. At the conclusion of your several forays into the Binding Coil, 'twas at the crystal formation, which lieth to the north of this place, that you did emerge, was it not? Yes, an ethereal stream bore us back to the surface. That much I had surmised. Are you suggesting that we can use it to return underground? But even if that were possible, would it not simply bear us back to those places which we have already explored? It need not, my lady. Pray allow me to explain. Upon the evidence of your experience, it seemeth plain that two internment hulks may share the selfsame ethereal egress. From this, we did infer that others may be connected in likewise. Thus did we labour long to verify the existence of further tributaries to the selfsame stream, in which task we were at length successful. 'Twas then but a matter of arriving at a solution to the problem of travelling to an unattuned destination. That one might reach what we may call the headwater we propose to employ a modified aetherite, which serveth to amplify such ripples as do originate from said source. By focusing one's essence upon these ripples, it should be possible to make the journey. Yet be fairly warned, my lady. As with all untried modes of ethereal travel, this method entaileth considerable danger. Merely to attempt the voyage could cost you your life. They say that a lot, don't they, about different methods we come up with? We break the grounds of ethereal travel, apparently. That is a risk I am willing to take. You are brilliant, Urianger. But I am curious. Did you have assistance in forming this plan? I could not help noticing your repeated use of the word we, unless you have taken to using the majestic plural in our absence? Nay, my lady. As you have correctly surmised, I was not alone in this endeavour. Meaning there are others who are aware of our mission. Well, it cannot be helped now. Preventing Bahamut's return is what matters. If some secrecy must be sacrificed to achieve our goal, then so be it. Nod. So something about the ripples and yeah. And it makes sense that like we were dumped out here the last two times, so these other two hulks must be also connected here. So that part makes sense. Verily, 'twas not my wish to withhold knowledge of the aid I received. I pray that Mistress Alize will forgive me when she learneth of its source. Learneth. Learneth of its source. Learneth is a kind of a tricky word to say. So that must be the modified aetherite. But what are the immortal flames doing here? Those men may be sworn flames of Uldar, but they are first and foremost faithful retainers of House Leveilleur. Oh, for no! Alphino? So it was you who was helping Urianger. Who else could it have been, dear sister? Lest you worry, I have no intention of making the details of your venture public. Like you, I would prefer to avoid causing a panic. But given that which is at stake, namely the survival of the realm, one must be willing to accept help when it is offered. Would you not agree? At the very least, do not be cross with Urianger. 'Twas at my behest that he kept silent. Cross. Cross is a funny word. Don't be cross. Just a little bit cross. We will speak later. Pray forgive me, my lady, but knowing full well your intent, I judged it meet that Master Alphino be informed. Though your grandsire hath become Bahamut's thrall, his noble blood courseth yet through both your veins, and if he must needs be struck down... Do you hear that, Alphino? I mean to strike down grandfather, and when I have done so, I shall banish Bahamut to the aether. Nothing you say will sway me from my course. I will protect Eorzea, and I will uphold grandfather's legacy. Grandfather's legacy? So you still do not know what you yourself desire. Your actions are still driven by borrowed resolve. Borrowed resolve? What does that have to do with anything? Protecting Eorzea was Grandfather's goal, and we made it ours. Both of us. That is why we came here, unless you have forgotten. Gods forbid I should ever forget, Alisaie. But you misunderstand. I do not question your resolve, only whence it came. If it were your own, you would be able to tell me precisely why you desire so fervently to protect Eorzea. Yet you cannot, for it is not your resolve, but Grandfather's. You may struggle to see the difference, but borrowed resolve shall never be as strong as that which springs from within. But let us speak of this another time. For now, preventing Bahamut's return is all that matters. To be plain, I have no objection to striking down whatever is left of Grandfather. Know, however, that I will be accompanying you this time. As a son of House Leveilleur, I will be present for his final moments. Very well. You may join us. On one condition. I make the decisions. Hey, Catsworth, how are you? Thank you for the raid. I saw you were playing Final Fantasy XIV as well. Did it go well? Yeah, so I'm sick at the moment. So I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to go. But, so I did the Binding Coils of Bahamut story. And I recorded it all so that we can watch it together and go through the story, because it's really good. Yeah, I really enjoyed Binding Coils, so we're just watching a video. It's a good story though. If it please, milady, the name's Erkenrad. Our preparations are just about complete. Also, if you haven't done the Binding Coils story and you want to see that for yourself, there's going to be big spoilers. Oh, you have not? Okay, you might not want to watch actually, because there might be, I don't know how much of this is revealed later in the overall story, with what happened with Bahamut. Yeah, I don't know if they just kind of drop that info later if you didn't do Binding Coils. But yeah, there's some good story here though. Yeah, I'm up to the final of the 3 raids, so we're pretty deep into the story. Don't think much. Okay, no worries. Thanks for the raid, Catsworth. Have a good night. So yeah, I was sick. I'm still getting past that. I feel pretty good overall, but my throat's all funny and gross, so I'm kind of coughing every now and then. So I'm doing my best. But I really wanted to get back to streaming, so here I am. When you're ready to embark on your mission, just give me the word. I'll be waiting for you at the cerulean processing plant. How does the hat not fall off when they bow? Pay no heed to my brother. You can rely on me. We have come far together, you and I, and together we shall see our journey to its end. In Heavenswood? Okay. Catsworth might know this stuff, but, you know, just in case. And then weirdly enough, you have to go turn it in here. And the dungeon entrance is actually over here. Kind of strange, but hey. I've been waiting for you, Mistress Angura. I'm pleased to say that the Aetheryte's primed and ready. As you know, the remaining internment hulks are connected to the fragments in Eastern Thanalan and Mordona. It's to the former that we'll be sending you first. Now, you'll be starting inside the hulk, meaning you won't have to cover so much ground. The drawback being that you'll be fighting for your life from the moment you get there. Best be prepared for anything, for Milady's sake if not for your own. And that's about all I can tell you. When your preparations are in order, just give me the word, and I'll send you on your way. I may even throw in a prayer for your speedy return, just to be on the safe side. Quest complete. And the final coil of Bahamut. Just say the word, and I'll send you and yours to the internment hulk extending from the burning wall fragment. If you have any questions, now's the time to ask them. Alright, so yeah, the final coil takes a little bit of time because it's got a lot of cutscenes, so I'm wondering if I should leave that for another time because my throat's not doing so well. I think we might do that next time, actually. Then we can watch all the cutscenes and all that stuff. Yeah, I think I might leave the rest of it for next time. We got the first 2 raids done though. We got some big story reveals. Okay, yeah, I think I'll end the stream and I'll go do some relaxing crafting or something, and hopefully I can stream again tomorrow. Yeah, Counting had to go to bed at this point. Yeah, this was at night. That way you did this? Alright, yeah, I think I'll end the stream. So thanks for watching. I'll see if there's anyone I want to host and send you all onwards to. Smite is doing a Mega Man damage shuffler. 11 games. A damage shuffler? Does that mean it changes games whenever he takes damage? Because that's amazing. Yeah, thank you. Have a good night. And I'll send you to Smite. Ha! I did a rhyme. I'll see you all next time. See ya.